KTN was privileged to get a glimpse of some of the proposed lineups from a document prepared by a special team mandated to come up with a formidable team that will face President Ruto at the ballot. Something to note is that in all the lineups proposed by the team, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka remains the most preferred presidential flag bearer to face Ruto at the ballot.
Honestly speaking, from the NIS report that was released by the KTN News, showing the lineup of a secret document that was agreed by a team that was constituted by the opposition, ladies and gentlemen, we could be able to conclude that the government probably, or maybe William Ruto, prefers to have Kalonzo Musyoka at the ballot. And as per to me, there are so many reasons behind that, but there are two that caught my attention from there. One, they think Kalonzo Musyoka is a very weak candidate at the ballot. Two, they feel comfortable having Kalonzo Musyoka on board as the president, in that even if he's the president, he will not do anything to them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm having a strong feeling that the government is having some behind and or hidden reasons as to why they prefer Kalonzo Musyoka as well. And that is going to form the basis of this analysis here, where I'm going to take you through step by step on what I think William Ruto and his team are up to. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mukwa Times, kindly feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Number one in my list is this. There's some misjudgment against Kalonzo Musyoka. Yes, I admit that Kalonzo Musyoka has weaknesses, one of them being a watermelon. He's never decided. And probably does not even look to be very serious for 2027 when it comes to his groundwork. And also, it is very clear that Kalonzo Musyoka is playing a game probably to benefit from either part. And that has been his nature. But to be honestly speaking here, he has been misjudged to be someone who does not have a stand and probably is not politically strong. Now, let me tell you that if there's a tough-minded leader in this country, it is Kalonzo Musyoka. You will only realize this when you get to him in a negotiation. He will give you sleepless nights. And if there's someone with a stand, honestly speaking, it is Kalonzo Musyoka. He has been in opposition ever since he left Kibaki, until now. Unlike Raila Amolo Odinga is in government, unless Kalonzo Musyoka is benefiting chini ya maji. So, he has been one person with a stand all through. And if there's somebody who's also been trying so much to survive with this party, it is the Wiper Party, which existed and now it's existing. But now the government has misjudged this gentleman and feeling that he's so weak that he's the person they can have on the ballot. First of all, let me take you through briefly on the numbers that Kalonzo Musyoka he will bring on board. I mean, if Kalonzo Musyoka works with Rigathi Gachagua and Matiang'i combined, and then he takes probably Matiang'i as his running mate, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that Kalonzo Musyoka will bring the 2 million Kamba votes. He'll bank in some votes from Mombasa region, plus the 5.2 million from the Mount Kenya as part of the statistics of 2022, Gusii region 2 million, and then now go, maybe if they bring on board like Natembeya as a prime minister or something. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you one simple thing. This will be a formidable team to take on President William Ruto. But if they give, of course, Kalonzo Musyoka a weaker candidate, especially us, the running mate, then eventually it's not going to be easy. And I'm telling you, even if Kalonzo goes independent, there will be no runoff. There will be a runoff in this country. And in 2027, in the runoff, we are going to see Kalonzo Musyoka deciding who is going to win the elections in 2027. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, there is a misjudgment that has been made by the government against Kalonzo Musyoka, which is very dangerous on their side. But I cannot dispute that they could be right. Another thing I was able to learn is this. The government is trying to create a conflict in the opposition, in that they want to project Kalonzo Musyoka as the best fitted presidential candidate from the opposition side, or maybe the flag bearer. And then if the opposition decides otherwise in 2027 or before 2027, the Kamba region will feel isolated. A conflict will be created there. Kalonzo will be sad. And that is going to be a big challenge for the opposition come 2027. On the basis that they are going to be destabilized. Destabilized completely. And if I was the opposition right now, maybe leading that team, I would advise them to go to the ballot, each and every candidate. And actually, I'm standing with this. To take each of their candidates to the ballot, first of all, to create regional satisfaction. So that the big boys can be shown there. Kalonzo Musyoka goes to the ballot with his running mate, maybe from Western Kenya. If Gachagua also wants to run, to the ballot. if Matiang'i wants to run to the ballot. And then, if it happens that any of them beats President William Ruto, or maybe Kenyans prefer any of them at the ballot, he'll be number one. What I'm sure there'll be no 50+1 winning there, and we'll have a runoff. And now these guys will combine and go to the runoff as a team, in the sense that already Kenyans have decided who is the strongest among them. And that is how regional satisfaction is going to be achieved. But if they combine, William Ruto will play them the way they're doing right now, creating a conflict from outside. Making people, first of all, the Kamba region to perceive that if Kalonzo Musyoka is not preferred, it's done. And they're also passing it that some other leaders are not strong enough. Like now, they portrayed Matiang'i as a Senate Speaker. For heaven's sake, how did you put Matiang'i there? Also, ladies and gentlemen, they're also elevating Kalonzo Musyoka's spirit to be stubborn. We all know that Kalonzo Musyoka can disturb. And as a result, the opposition is going to lose focus. Ladies and gentlemen, if the opposition is not going to prefer a way they're going to have an amicable satisfaction across the country, then William Ruto will become the president very early in the morning. On the basis that William Ruto is very organized when it comes to his campaigns. He has a machinery both for the youth, women, border, and also even the working class. I saw yesterday's news that now they have reduced the university fees. What is their target? The youth of this country and their parents. They are trying to solve the problems they created, which were the major reasons as to why people have been singing William Ruto must go. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do actually a video on the latest 5 ways William Ruto is solving his problems. But the fact remains that if we are not careful as the opposition now, because me, I belong to the opposition, and even if the next government wins, whichever, even if it's Matiang'i, I'm going to shift back to the opposition so that we can be able to check what the government is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be easier if the opposition are not going to organize themselves, checking on what the government is doing as far as Kalonzo Musyoka is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing that I'm able to state here categorically is this. William Ruto probably might have observed that Kalonzo Musyoka has weaknesses. One of them being financially not stable. For a campaign, honestly speaking, Kalonzo Musyoka hasn't gone to source any form of campaigns. He has not lobbied any international firm to go and look for money. He has not gone to Minnesota or maybe the US to source for funds. We haven't seen that. So the fact means that he could be positioning himself for a negotiation. But the fact is, we know Kalonzo Musyoka will not go for the president because he did not go for 2013, he did not go in 2017, he did not go in 2022, despite promising. So the fact remains in 2027, he's not going to go for another seat as a president. But the fact is, he'll be negotiating. So William Ruto has noticed he does not have money. Even if he wants to run for president, he will not. So there's a possibility that they want to push him, despite his challenges, to compel the opposition to fund him. And even if they fund him, they will not do it wholeheartedly. Actually, it might even not be possible at all. Because you have to prove yourself formidable before the opposition team supports you. So that will also escalate the kind of conflict they want so that they can destabilize the opposition. I don't know what is your take, but in the comment section you can share with me on what you think as far as this kind of propaganda from the government are concerned. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abel Mukwa.